So we're just going to say, welcome to One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living. And we are blessed and delighted today to have Jesse Powers with us. And that's true.
Oh,
Super
thanks.
true. Kick us off, Jesse.
All right. We'll start with I Love Being Alive. I haven't played this one in a little bit. This is the one where I meow. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. Sing it with me. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. One more time. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Grateful. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I sleep. Dreams of gratitude. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Okay, here's the playful part. It's everybody's favorite part. So be playful with me, make some weird noises, and just get weird with it. Here we go. I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning and I was playful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. Meow, 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 meow. I love being alive. Meow, 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 meow.
That's funny. All right. Rob's world has been inundated with kitties, so that's it's perfect for Rob.
For real, in real life, you have a lot of kitties right now, Rob?
Well, the
Two.
story had been that my ex-wife, who is currently in my bedroom because she managed to break her left arm and her right arm while she lost a cat. The cat, it, she heard that she could alleviate the pain by getting a new kitten, but instead of getting one, she fostered 15 of them. And you've heard the phrase, it's like herding cats. Well, the two broken
Wow.
arms, left and right, were the first one was the right one, which some cats got out, while herding them back in, she managed to
Broke the
fall
other.
and break one. And then
Wow.
some cat got out later and she was herding cats and managed to fall. And so I'm taking care of her right now. She's in the bedroom with my two new kittens, which are the result of that fostering. So my life is about kittens right now,
Wow.
but
That's a
that's
lot
the
of
story.
cats.
So really appropriate that you're meowing for
That
us as we open.
that was another synchronicity that goes in the journal.
Oh God. Well, while you are unmuted, Rob, I'm going to invite you to open us up with prayer and words.
Okay. Hey, well, I guess my apologies to everyone because you're about to get more Robism than you've ever been exposed to heretofore. I think most people associate me with a kind of hedonistic philosophy. And it is true that I believe our primary motivation is to feel good. But in reality, Robism is the entire body of my personal truth that I was able to amass before I ever heard of Ernest Holmes. And the reason I hang with you guys is because of the uncanny similarities between Robism and the science of mind. You see, before Robism existed, I was an atheist and I held the scientific belief that in the beginning, there were four elements: matter, energy, space, and time. I also believed that the tenets of the world's religions were fundamentally all a crock. But at the dawn of Robism, I was forced to conclude that the tenets of science were the actual crock and that the world's religions, in fact, tended to get it right. That in the beginning, there was consciousness that we call God. In the beginning, there was awareness. In the beginning, there was only awareness. And for that awareness, existence was a lot like being in a sensory deprivation tank. Nothing to see here, folks. Awareness drastically needed something to be aware of. So the third sentence from the Bible is as follows: and God said, let there be light. Because without light, you can't see. So what the third sentence of the Bible really means is, let there be images. You see images. You see something to be aware of. You see things that you can interact with. And because you have things to interact with, you can have a life. Now, Michelle is going to speak about a lot more than images that you can see. Um, but where I'm going to start, when I first logged on today, you guys were talking about subjective mind, and it's funny. I'm going to inject something real fast into this about subjective mind. The reason that I love Ernie so much is the circle with the V in it, because it's divided into three sections. It's got the conscious mind at the top. That is your awareness. In the center is subjective mind, and at the bottom is effectively the physical universe. It's your experience. The thing in the center generates the thing at the bottom, your experience. If the subjective mind ever stopped doing its function, it's like the whole image, everything you see, would collapse in on itself. Remember in the old TV sets where you turned it off and the whole picture would go and it would reduce to a little dot in the center of the screen? That is, I believe that's exactly what would happen if because subjective mind generates your experience in real time. You pull the plug, the whole thing goes, and there's nothing to see here, folks. But I'm just starting with images because their existence is a great place to start as we explore the genius behind the universe in which you dwell. And if you'll join me as we go within, and we just know that the one thing that is the one thing, is the only thing, is what we are, is what it is. And I am so grateful for all of our senses, for our ability to take in, to experience, to interact with the physical universe. And I am so grateful that our life has the opportunity to be this splendid, wonderful, joyful experience. And every day that we exist here, there is the opportunity to make it more joyful, and then more joyful, and then more joyful than that. And I am so happy that we are here together because we are exploring the ways to make our experience better. It can always get better. It will always get better simply because we declare that it is better. Thank you, God. And thank you for this meeting of the minds together today. Thank you for our coming together to celebrate the opportunities we have and to examine the ways that our life can be better and will be better just because we say it is. Thank you, God, for the better and then the better and then the better than that. I am so grateful that this is so. I release my word, and together we say, and
And so it
so it is. And with any luck,
is.
Michelle, who's on it right now, is going to cook up the affirmation for the month of August, which says, peace, poise, and power are within me, for they are the witness of the inner spirit of truth, love, and wisdom. I am at peace within me, and all respond to, excuse me, I'm peace within me, and all respond to the great calm of the inner soul. I rest in security and peace, for the inner light shines forth and illumines the way. And that is Ernest Holmes. Okay. And I think we're done.
I think we are. I think we're ready to hear Jesse play for us again. Thank you, Rob. And,
Good.
I always enjoy Robisms. It's a wonderful new tradition.
I feel like I'm well tolerated here.
Well tolerated.
Well tolerated. We love you, Rob.
All right, let's drop down back into that space. Place of receiving. When we're fully embodied and we're receiving all this information through our senses, the brain doesn't have so much room to scurry off and worry about things and make problems that don't exist and all that stuff. So let's stay there. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. Ooh, open the door. Open the door, open the door to my heart. Open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart. I know, there's no need to worry. I know, there's no need to doubt. I know, there's nothing to figure out. Ooh, open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart. Open the door, open the door, open the door to my heart. To my heart. To
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, now that we're all open, we're open to receive. Thank you for that, Jesse. That was beautiful. Oh, and again, welcome to One Heart, One Mind, Center for Spiritual Living, my dear friends. And as always, if you're here in real time or replay, I'm just glad you are connecting with our community. We're always here. We're always online, which is wonderful. Oh, let's see. Today, this month, actually, we've been focusing on areas of our human lives that aren't always warm and fuzzy. And even though in our community, we do support each other through all of our human challenges, and we've been through quite a few together, and we've been there for each other, and they're not always warm and fuzzy either. But I think we do a pretty good job of staying focused on thoughts and feelings that are positive. You know, we stay grounded in the spiritual principles that promote what's possible for our lives, and in our oneness, in our knowing that we are one with spirit. As well, we should be, right? That's what we're all about, intentional living. But as I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I think we can do both. I think we can acknowledge what is and what has come before. And, you know, no matter what it has looked like or what it looks like now, even if it's things we'd like to kind of release and forgive and transform, but we can do this. We can look at these things while staying grounded in that higher vibration of spirit. You know, because at this level, we can engage with what may not seem so warm and fuzzy. You know, we can acknowledge and transform our errors, our mistakes, our false beliefs, our unhealed traumas from that elevated level of consciousness, because that's really what it takes. You know, we can use all of our human experiences as this pathway to create open and fulfilling and joyous lives. And then through our spiritual practices, we can sustain this level of intentional living, you know, and step into our own inherent, innate creative agency. We're creative beings, you know, and we can do that free from any of the obstructions and the resistance that might have been caused from the things that are not warm and fuzzy. And when we engage with life at this level of consciousness, I read a quote from Einstein last week where he said, things can't touch us. Let's see. I'm going to put it in language that is directed towards us. Things can't touch us because they come from a world that we don't inhabit. Things can't touch us because they come from a world that we don't inhabit, because they're a higher vibration, they're a higher energy. So this week, our focus is on our sacred body temple, our human bodies. They're just these really magnificent organisms. You know, they're such a gift. They're the perfect vehicle for us to not only express the divine through our human physicality, but to experience the divine through our five senses, you know, everywhere around us, in nature, with other people, art, music, food. We can take it all in, you know, the beauty and the majesty of the world, and we can feel the energy of life in our bodies. You know, our bodies are just these perfectly designed things to experience God and all of God's creation around us, you know, God knowing itself as Yvonne and Jesse and Lisa and Rob and all of us in our own unique way. Ernest Holmes, our founder, wrote that the physical body has evolved for the purpose of allowing consciousness, which Rob talked about in his invocation, consciousness, the consciousness of God, to function on this plane at the level of the physical. You know, and I can feel the truth in that. You know, I live in the truth of that. I know that God's expressing itself through me and as me. But if you're anything like me, You might have picked up some negative ideas about this amazing sacred body temple that we have, based on the many cultural influences that we've encountered throughout our lives. But in recognizing them, we can transform them. We can look at them through the eyes of spiritual truth, of spirit's love, and then lovingly care for them, care for our beautiful bodies, eat well, get enough sleep, get enough exercise, and we can honor them as this expression of God that they truly are, our bodies, because like everything else, we get more of what we focus on. So we can focus on the vitality and the wholeness, on caring for and loving ourselves, so that our beautiful bodies will radiate with the energy of life, the energy of God. So I'm going to talk about some things that I encountered during my upbringing, but please don't think that I'm sharing them as complaints or judgments or resentments. I'm not lamenting the past. I'm actually using my experiences and sharing them with you as a catalyst for growth and for transformation. I'm not blaming my parents or the spiritual tradition I was raised in. I've done lots of clearing out and forgiving around any old grievances I've held around these things. I share them as a means of acknowledging, because what we acknowledge, we can transform. And I don't know about you, but I've collected some stuff. I talked about this last week. We all collect some stuff. And I've even stored some of this stuff in my subjective mind. Stuff that might be getting in the way of my full expression of God, the God expressing as my life, old feelings and old beliefs about separateness and unworthiness, lack or limitation, and the falsely perceived inadequacies or even deficits of my own physical body. But here's the thing. These false ideas have also given me the opportunity to move through them, by deeply examining what I know is true in God and spiritual principle, not as a victim, but as an empowered expression of life, of spirit, able to uplift and transform whatever isn't serving me. And I still move through some of these things in very subtle ways, some of this old stuff, and it continues to bubble up as they do. But we can look at the old stuff as a way of expansion and growth and evolution, and we can do it from the vibration of lightness and inspiration and even joy, because we know that we're holding our individual point of consciousness, what we're holding, we're contributing to the entire collective human consciousness. And what we contribute really matters. Our contributions have the potential to uplift and expand our collective human experiences. So when I heal myself, I heal the whole of humanity. I'm healing that part of me that doesn't know that it's completely and totally God. So I grew up in a spiritual tradition, as many of you did as well, that told me that there was something inherently wrong with me. I was taught that I had to do something or become someone other than who I already was in order to be worthy of God's love, that I had to prove myself, which, any good teacher knows that isn't the way to encourage learning and growth. And here's the weird thing about this. I was also told that God loved me, that he was this loving and merciful being. And these mixed messages were kind of a little confusing. I wasn't really sure what was true, but here's the gift in it. The gift is in this confusion, I was filled with a curiosity and a desire to find a deeper meaning for my life, because I could feel that there was definitely a kernel of truth in what I was being told. I felt that there really was a life force that enveloped and included me and even loved me. And I was always on the lookout for evidence of its existence, some kind of loving, intelligent system or order. And it was kind of fun being on the lookout for it. And believe me, I looked everywhere, in lots of different new age modalities, astrology, numerology, tarot, in alcohol, in relationships. I looked everywhere. So, and some of the things that I learned growing up, I would say that I really internalized were that denying myself of any kind of real pleasure was a way to collect some real brownie points with God. I could still hear my mother saying, offer it up, dear. If there was something wrong, oh, just offer it up, as if my suffering somehow made life better for everyone else. There was a real sense of there is only so much to go around. And if I took less, then others could have more, as if there was some giant recession going on in the universe. And of course, today I know that's impossible. God is not limited in any way, and neither are we. And I also learned that any kind of sexual or sensual pleasure was super bad. It was selfish to seek pleasure for ourselves. A selfless life was a holy life. But none of this really rang true for me. So the gift in it all was that it kind of set me on fire. There was something on my heart that knew these things didn't feel right. But I have to admit that at that subjective level that we talk so much about, it did kind of instill a sense of unspoken guilt in me, which I've had to recognize and let go of. And this was probably one of the most valuable and important gifts from my childhood experience. I discovered, really important here, I think this is really powerful, that the energy of guilt, of self-deprivation, of unworthiness, of lack, of separation, these energies are not transformative. They do not change the human heart. The energies of guilt and unworthiness don't expand us. They don't evolve us. They don't grow us. Their value is only in showing us what we don't want to feel or experience. And that we can raise our vibration into an energy that allows us to honor the wonders of creation within us and all around us, and to honor the magnificence of the whole body of God. And all of creation is the body of God, the effects. God is cause, law is the action or soul, and the body, the creation, the physical world is effect. It is the body of God. And this raising and transformation of what we don't want to experience in our physical world can only be done through peace and compassion and gratitude and love. These are the energies that transform. This is the most valuable lesson that I learned from my upbringing, and it was a good one. The lower energies, the lower places that we live and get stuck they can be a catalyst for our growth, but they don't change our hearts. They don't transform our lives. So while I'm sharing my story, it's important to remember that we all have our stories. Whatever our personal story is, one of the main messages that we've all received from the outside world is that we need to do or be or act or think or conform to the expectations of our family, our culture, something else. And it doesn't matter if we were raised Catholic or Jewish or Baptist or atheist. These are things that we've been told and that we've internalized and that have shaped the way we perceive ourselves and our place in the world. And they may not be true. Much of the time they are not. But all of our experiences are an invitation or a call to deeply examine what feels right for us. What is our personal truth? And we move into that through our connection with our own divinity. And that divinity, that connection is what transforms whatever we don't want to experience in our world. I read a story it was on Reverend Scott Aubrey's website, but it wasn't attributed to anyone. So I don't know who wrote it. But the story goes, and I thought this was interesting because it kind of puts a twist on what I was saying about my upbringing and looks at it in a different way. But the story goes that there was an 11-year-old Muslim girl, and her parents enrolled her in a new school kind of on the outskirts of town. And she was the only girl of color there, and she was the only one who was wearing the hijab, the head covering. And it was very hard for her. She got so many negative comments about her appearance, and people would actually scream at her, terrorist, and as they walked by, and they would spit and throw food at her. And once someone even tried to pull off her hijab and tighten it around her neck. She felt hideous, and she felt scared, and she recalls in her story that she even contemplated just taking her hijab off. She said it would be easy to do, but it just didn't feel right for her. Wearing her hijab felt empowering to her. She said it was truly liberating for her. She felt proud when she wore it. It was part of her identity and her culture and her heritage. And for her, it wasn't just a mark of her religion. It was a symbol of her strength and her self-love and her willingness to deal with whatever life threw at her. It made her feel stronger. And it gave her the drive to kind of brush away any of the negativity that was being thrown at her. And so she continued to wear it, and she said that it supported her in getting a degree in theater and even acting some. But the strength that her hijab and staying true to herself nurtured in her helped her reach her passion. It pushed her to do all the things that make her proud to be the woman that she's become. Plus, she said with her hijab, when she wore that, she never had a bad hair day. So I thought that was kind of funny. So I'm sharing this story because I think it illustrates that we are the ones who get to decide how we want to express God in our lives. We get to take our experiences, whatever they may be, and make them true for us. We are the ones who get to decide what feels right for us, no matter what others think, or no matter what others say, no matter what comes at us. Science of mind teaches that we're one with the source of all life, and that we're here to express the consciousness of our creator. Call it whatever you like, God, spirit, life, presence, the thing itself, as Holmes called it. And we do that through our patterns of thought and feeling, which create this state of being. And it's this state of being that expresses through creative law and becomes our human experiences, becomes our bodies. And we are empowered through our intentional practice, through our own creative agency, to think thoughts that generate feelings, that create our overall state of being. And the more we identify with or resonate at the level of our own divinity, the higher our thoughts resonate, the better we feel, the higher our state of being is. And that's what we express as our human lives. And our bodies are perfectly designed to create neural pathways that play the patterns that we create all by themselves, which releases the chemicals that elevate our emotions, our feelings, and give us that overall state of well-being. Our bodies are these amazing feats of creation. They're intelligent, they're self-organizing, they're self-healing. I never have to tell my body to heal a little cut. I never have to say anything, it just does it. They're alive with God stuff. And our state of being, from our thoughts and our feelings, our state of being, that influences all of us. We are perfectly designed to bring the fullness of God, the allness of God, the perfection of God into form. And the link between what we hold in our mind and our health has long been known, long been established. Constant worry, fearful and stressful thoughts create an environment in our bodies where disease can take place. Our bodies are always listening and responding to our thoughts and our feelings because they're the effect, right? Whether they're thoughts of unworthiness or lack or separation, or thoughts of our wholeness and the vitality and the goodness of life, our bodies will respond. And there are so many miraculous stories about people who have healed their bodies by changing their thoughts and their feelings. And I can't think of a more dramatic example than that of Anita Moorjani. I'm sure that many of you know her story. I mean, I can think of a lot of them, but this one really stuck out for me today for some reason. She was hours away from her physical death. She had cancer and she had tumors that had spread all over her body. And just hours before she was to pass away from the physical realm, she had a near-death experience. And in her near-death experience, she came to the realization, I don't know if that's the awakening, I think would be a better word, that she was love, that is who she was, that she was the presence and the allness of love. And there was nothing else. And in her story, she actually tells how in the final moments of her near-death experience, her father, who was already on the other side, said to her, now that you know who you truly are, go back and live your life fearlessly. And she came back into her body. And within 5 weeks, there were absolutely no more cancerous tumors, no trace of any of the tumors left in her body at all. She completely healed herself through the power of love, through knowing who she really was. Now, this is a dramatic experience, but we can do this while we're still in our body. We don't have to have a near-death experience to make this happen. But we do have to intentionally move into that space so that we can feel that connection. We can live an intentional life. When she came back, she was a completely different person. I know that Joe Dispenza says that when you go into meditation, you should not come out as the same person. And I think that's what he means, that it should shift us into a new knowing of who and what we are and why we're here. Our body is an effect of, and it is an expression of our thoughts and our feelings and our state of being, whatever we hold as being who we are. All around us, we're kind of blessed with the reminders of the life of God. We can use our 5 senses. Michael Beckwith calls it our sensorium. I like that. We can use our 5 senses coupled with a technique of affirmative inquiry. So we can use that to practice witnessing God all around us, how God expresses itself in the world. We can ask things like, what do I hear that is the voice of God? We might hear the voice of God in music, in Jesse's beautiful music, in the wind, in a bird's song, in the kind words from a friend or a loved one. We can ask, what do I see that is evidence of God? And there's beauty everywhere. I mean, walk in nature, look at a sunrise, a sunset, a tree, a flower, a butterfly, a river, an ocean. It's everywhere. We can see the evidence of the divine everywhere in the body of God. What do we feel? That is the expression of God, and I, of course, always think of my dog's soft fur, a lover's kiss, a warm hug from a friend, a good massage. That feels like the touch of the divine. What do we taste that is the evidence of God in the world? I've been eating a lot of peaches, so I was thinking of a fresh peach, or a bitter lemon, a delicious meal. And what do we smell that is evidence of God? A fragrant flower, rain on the earth, clean laundry, the ocean, that salty sea air. And all of this raises our vibration up to the level of God consciousness. We're so blessed. And we can use these sacred body temples to help us see the body of God in everything all around us. Our human bodies are perfectly designed, to participate with the changing nature of life. We were talking about that before the service, about how we're seeing these little hints of autumn coming on. Well, our bodies notice all these subtle changes. You know, we can experience life at its fullest. And one of the things that we really have to know and kind of appreciate is that the physical world is temporary. It's fleeting and transitory in nature. You know, it's like a sandcastle you build on the beach. You can enjoy its magnificence today, and the tide of life will wash it away tomorrow. You know, and we can honor this process and stand with each other, you know, as we travel through all these changes together. You know, we can feel that there is that something animating all of it, you know, sourcing it all, something that is lying underneath. It's unchanging, it's constant, it's secure, it's loving, and it's infinite. And when we perceive our humanity from this connection to divinity, we bring into our human lives a sense of peace and love and inspiration and awe and joy. It uplifts us and enlivens us. We truly do bring heaven to earth. You know, we know as metaphysicians that all of creation is the body of God. You know, our human bodies are the body of God. And right now, our human physical bodies live within our thoughts and our feelings and our state of being. That is so important for us to remember. Our body lives within our thoughts and our feelings and our state of being. We're empowered to hold an intention for what we want our bodies to be. Our physical body, our emotional body, our spiritual body, they all exist right now. We have creative agency over our lives. We are the divine creators. We are the divine creators of our own lives, expressing God in our unique way. Our bodies are these magnificent, infinite beings. Let's pray about that. So I know that God is all there is, and that everything we see around us in the physical universe is the body of God, continually being created and recreated and recreated. And we are part of this physical life, as well as the infinite life of God. How blessed are we? So I speak my word about each and every one of us, everybody that's on this call, everybody that isn't on this call, all of creation, the mother herself that we stand on, all life, that there is a shift, a new way of knowing how empowered we truly are, our own creative agency to bring forth bodies that are vital and alive, expressing and experiencing the divine in everything we do, in everything we hear and see and feel and touch and smell. We are alive with the life of God. And I know that everything we experience and express is fresh and new and peaceful and joyous and loving, and inspires an awe in us that keeps us moving forward into the expansive nature of life, of God. So for this, I'm just so deeply grateful. And that gratitude it continues that energy of expansion and curiosity. Yes, so grateful. So I just relax in knowing that what I'm speaking is powerful because it's already true in God. That what you are thinking and holding and being right now is powerful because you are also speaking into the creative law of God. And I know for all of us that we step fully into our creative agency as we move forward in our day, in our lives, in our weeks, in our years, in the timeless. So for this and so much more, I simply say thank you. I allow it to be, and we signify our agreement by saying, And so it is. And so it is. Okay. All right, my beloveds. Thank you for letting me share my little piece of God. Yeah. Lisa.
Yes, I
You're
think
on.
it's I'm on.
Here's the way we
As
begin.
we look at the evidence of God around us, one of the things that came to my mind was our gathering, one heart, one mind, and how we are an expression of God in the world, and that supporting each other is really important. And so we give to our spiritual center by using Venmo mostly. Um, Venmo at the O Home Center. And then the other way is if you would prefer to send a check, you can send it to One Heart, One Mind at the address on the screen, 1637 East Valley Parkway, number 2035, Escondido, California, 92027. And I think that it is a gift to give, no matter what you're able to do to support us to keep going and keep learning and transforming ourselves and the world around us.
True, true, true.
So I think we have a yes. So either think or say together, everything flows from the nature of God's good. We give and receive from this flow in gratitude and love. We rest in the infinite giving nature of spirit. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Lisa.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let's see. So announcements are, we're going to have our Monday night prayer group tomorrow night, but we're going to skip this Tuesday. We're going to move into this book. I will copy the first introduction in the chapter and send it to you. Can you see it, or is it backwards? Happy for No Reason by Marcia Shimoff. I always want to say Smirnoff, but I think that's the vodka. It's not her. Yeah, we're going to start that on, I think, I want to say it's the 21st, but I don't really, no, it couldn't be. It's got to be, well, it's not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday after,
26th.
27th.
Oh, Tuesday, right?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you then for that, and I'll send it out as soon as possible so you can get it read. The other thing that I wanted to bring to our attention is, oh, and then there will be Relane's. Yeah, that's not, no, her prayer group isn't until the 28th, so it's not this week. I did want to bring to your attention that we're going to do our collaborative service again with Om Center for Spiritual Living on the 1st, and that I was telling the meditation group this without even asking you. I offered for us to bring the snacks and stuff for after service this time, because they provided it for us last time, and it was such a gift. And so I thought, oh, we could do that. So, and I originally was just going to do it myself, but I'm going to invite all of you to contribute as well. So if you want to bring, I was going to make a big, huge green salad, and bring cookies, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just some little something to share. And let's see what else. I think that's about it. Continue to give, if you get unexpected income, we would love for you to share it with our center. We love doing what we're doing, and we want to be able to continue to do that. And I think that's about it. Let's see. Lisa, you want to go ahead, sweetheart?
Excuse me, I just wanted to say, I think that the prayer meeting is on the 20th, the one with Relaine, because isn't it the second and third? No,
Yes, it
I
is.
mean, first and third.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. My bad.
The 21st.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
right, Gisela. Thank you for that. Yeah, because we did the
Yeah.
7th, right?
Wrong place.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 7th and then the 21st.
right.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate it. So it is this Wednesday. So,
Right,
at 10 o'clock. And I've been sending out the link in the morning. So, okay. So Lisa, would you like to do the benediction and then we'll have Jesse do a closing song for us?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't we join together, taking one nice deep breath to reconnect ourselves on that spirit plane. I know there is one mind, and that mind is God's mind, and that mind is my mind right here and right now. And we are each connected to that one. I'm part of that one mind, and we are a unified sense of spirit that is connected with everything, with the entire planet, and with every one of each other. And that is what keeps us moving along in a higher state and in a space of being able to transform. And so I speak my word, knowing this service is blessed, and that each of us has the opportunity to think about some of the things that struck us today from the channeling of spirit that is always Reverend Michelle's fabulous words for us to help us to learn and transform and be more of who we really are. And so I urge us to find the ways that we can lift and transform ourselves. And I also speak my word simply for this gathering that we have, this opportunity to connect and to quiet our busy brains, to look at that other part of our perfect existence, which is the spirit within that drives us forward and keeps the world spinning and moving and growing and evolving. And so I release my word into the law with grateful thankings and knowing that we are all blessed by one another, by this service, and by simply being on the planet at this time in the history of the world. And so I release my word by saying, thank you, God, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you.
I
So,
feel
yeah.
blessed after that.
Yeah, me too. Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. I'm
Yes.
never going to forget the term grateful thankings. I like it. Okay, Jesse, you're on, girl.
Alrighty. It's an ode to the body. There is a beating in my chest. It's an ancient and familiar steadiness. There's a symphony in every step. Every moment it's playing on my behalf. See, hear, taste, feel. Baby, that's how I know love is real. Life is sweet sensation. There's a million miracles that I can call my body. There's a million beautiful things that it can do. So many ways I get to play, and I'm grateful every day. But my favorite way, the greatest thing I do, is I get to love you. Yeah, 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 I get to love you. I can move mountains with these hands. I can read novels and sweet talk my house plans. I can write pop songs that'll make you have to dance. I can make a difference and I can make romance. There's a million miracles that I can call my body. There's a million beautiful things that it can do. So many ways I get to play, and I'm grateful every day. But my favorite way, the greatest thing I do, is I get to love you. Ooh, I get to love you. See, hear, taste, feel. Baby, that's how I know love is real. Life is sweet sensation. There's a million miracles that I can call my body. There's a million beautiful things that it can do. So many ways I get to play, and I'm grateful every day. But my favorite way, the greatest thing I do. Oh, my favorite way, the greatest thing I do, is I get to love you. I get to love you. I get to love you. Thank you.
Beautiful. I love that. Million things you can do. How perfect is that? Woohoo! So
Woo.
I am going to say goodbye to our Facebook friends. Goodbye, Facebook friends. And I am going to stop our recording.